And welcome back, folks. This is U.S. Home Talk. It is Wednesday, and we are happy to be back. We got a big show planned for today. Jason Walgrave here with Walgrave Real Estate Group and the Minnesota Real Estate Team at RE/MAX Advantage Plus. We've got the great mortgage magician, Mortgage Mike Overson with Luminate Home Loans. We've got the great Sioux Empire top real estate agent and team, Marcus Walgrave with Hague Realtors. Guys, I feel like the Wolf Pack is back. I feel like the gang is back. I got to go visit Marcus and his family on Thursday, and then Theodore and I were in Aberdeen last weekend, and at the hotel I watched Hangover, and it was just it's pretty funny. I haven't watched it for a long time, so it was pretty good. Here we are.
Who's Alan? Who's Alan of the Wolf Pack? Marcus?
There's no beard. He needs to get the beard back.
I don't the beard, Yeah,
he's all clean shaven.
Well,
right now.
like in the second one, he shaves his head and keeps the beard. So if Marcus would just grow a beard, I think
a beard
he
and
gets
put
Alan.
on like 100 pounds. Gotta grow yourself a big belly.
Yep. There you go, Marcus.
That's funny, man.
I can do that.
I could do that.
I could do that.
All right, what are we talking about today, guys? We're talking about new versus old, or new versus existing, comparing new construction to existing homes, the pros and cons of each. We'll go over the list for each one of those. Folks, best way to get a hold of us is our website, ushometalk.com. You can connect with all of our fantastic partners, connect directly with Mike, Marcus, myself, our insurance master and show producer, Evan Little. You can also find him on ushometalk.com. All of our other fantastic partners are there as well. So all things real estate, anything and everything real estate related, go check us out on our website, ushometalk.com. Of course, you'll see us every Wednesday at noon via Facebook and YouTube. We do appreciate whether you're tuning in at noon on Wednesdays or later in the week. We're getting more and more downloads each week, so we do appreciate folks tuning in and checking out what we have to talk about. Usually, it's pretty good, I think.
Usually.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Usually, yeah.
More hits than misses.
More hits than misses. Need at bats, though, don't we? We need at bats. All right, let's jump into it. We got a text line open. If you want to text in your questions, the text line is 612-234-7585. All questions related to real estate. So not just our topic, but all things real estate. You can text in your questions. Also, feel free to leave comments or questions on Facebook and YouTube, however it is that you are streaming the show today. What do you guys want to do? You want to do new first, or you want to do existing first? What do you think?
New spring parade.
There we go.
Coming up.
Have you guys had your spring parade, Marcus?
No.
Okay, we just finished.
Now, ours is over 2 weekends.
Okay.
And usually the first and second weekend in May.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So we finished up ours. We had it 4 weeks long, and it was a lot of really cool homes, great ideas. Oh, yes, Mike?
I would just like to point out that South Dakota has another thing that they do correct versus Minnesota. I won't get into the other things, right? But it makes sense to me to do it in May, because look at the type of weather swings that we had during our parade this year. I mean, we saw an 80-degree day. We saw snow and blizzard. literally, blizzard, and then literally we had tornadoes 2 days ago. So why are we doing our spring parade during just this crazy weather swing time period?
Agree. Yep, I couldn't agree more. I mean, we had to cancel the Sunday that we had the big storm. I think there was 14 or 15 inches that rolled through, and plus, I think homes present better in May, late April and May than they do in February and March, just simply because of the leaves and the grass and everything is greener, it looks nicer. So,
right.
Yes, Mr. Overson, we will add that to the list of many things that South Dakota does better than Minnesota.
Okay, thank you.
We're looking forward to ours. It's starting to shape up, and you even start seeing. I know it's a little soon for like sod to get delivered, but these new construction homes that are getting finished up here in the upcoming weeks, or just have gotten done. I mean, a lot of them have sod shipped from down south. By like end of June, they look like they got yards that have been around for 5-6 years. And it's just like snap the finger. It's like, holy buckets, this is brand new, but it looks like, it's got a mature landscaping and everything. So it's pretty cool.
It's really cool. Marcus, you got that those folks behind you that are building that monster of a house. That thing has got to be, what were we guessing? 12, 14,000 square feet? I mean,
Yeah, we were thinking kind of 12,000.
Huge.
It is big.
Huge. So a lot of new construction in Sioux Falls and the Sioux Falls area as the Twin Cities. So let's talk about it. New construction. Let's talk about the pros. Modern floor plans, open spaces, flex room, larger windows. I tell you what, the floor plans. I feel like in the last 5+ years we are seeing the trend of give me the biggest house I can afford. I want square feet. Square feet. That's not really what buyers are looking for anymore. They want a very thoughtful and usable floor plan. I've seen homes with 3,000 square feet that feel bigger than homes that have 4,500 square feet because they're designed better. The other thing that I love in new homes that we're seeing more and more of is more windows. I mean, I'm talking floor to ceiling windows, especially if you've got you're on acreage or maybe you're on the lake. I love the windows in these newer homes. And then you get all the tech that goes with it.
Shout out to all the window manufacturers as well, right? I mean, we go back 30 years ago and there was maybe one or two premier window makers, and they were significantly more expensive than everybody. But, from kind of what I hear in that industry, the tech kind of plateaued about 20 years ago. And then once that plateaus, then the price comes down. Now you're starting to see like the premier window maker, and they're selling their product, the 100 level or entry level window, and it's super affordable, and they're super efficient. So like to your point, Jason, like you can have a wall of windows, and you're not really sacrificing too much in terms of energy efficiency.
Yeah, you're right. You go back 20 years ago, and most windows had the wood. They're wood windows, and they got the wood sill, and it's all wood surround. A lot of those windows after 15, 20 years either require replacement because they weren't maintained properly. So the new, vinyl windows and the designs look fantastic, right? I mean, 20 years ago, vinyl windows looked kind of cheap and they weren't really desirable. But the new ones look fantastic. They last longer. They got they're double pane or even triple pane. Some of them have the blinds inside or in between the panes. And so you're right, Marcus. A lot of really great window manufacturers out there doing a good job right now. Talking about new construction pros, we talked about modern floor plans. The next one on our list, delayed major maintenance costs. Okay, what are we talking about? We're talking about the roof, HVAC, furnace, AC, appliances. I met with a new client yesterday. He's got I think his 89 built home, nice little split level in Prior Lake. I usually can have a pretty good idea on home values, just based on pulling up the information that I have online. But my main question is what's been replaced? Well, he's got a roof that's relatively new. He's got a new furnace, new AC, new water heater, new water softener. Appliances are only a couple years old, so he's got the majority of those big dollar items that he's replaced in the last couple years. That makes a big difference for buyers, right? But there's a cost to it. New construction, I don't know. You really don't have to worry about a whole lot for at least a decade. And then depending on what you put in there, maybe even longer, maybe 15, 20, 25 years on those things. So delayed major maintenance costs on new construction, big advantage, big pro.
I had a guy, so I sold a set of rims that I had in my garage for a couple of years that my wife kept on nagging me about. It's like
They didn't even fit on your truck, right?
They didn't even fit on my truck I had anymore. They were just in the garage, right? Okay. And I keep telling her, like, babe, if you have something for me to do, all you got to do is tell me once. You don't have to remind me every 6 months. I'll get it done, okay?
6 months.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
So anyway, he pulled up and he was in the trades, right? He was a younger kid. He was in the trades and he pulled up and we're just, we got the rims loaded up in his truck and he started talking and I found out he was in the trades and stuff. He's like, you must have just recently built this, huh? And I'm like, well, our house will be 10 years old next week. And he's like, you got to be kidding me. I'm like, no, we built it April 2016 is when we moved in. And it's like the siding looks like it was put on yesterday. The roof still looks like it was put on yesterday. So all these materials, and that's 10 years old, right?
Yeah.
I mean, all these materials are so weather resistant nowadays where you got a 10-year-old house and it looks like literally it could have been built yesterday.
100% agree. Before the show this morning, I went out and looked at toured at a house that's coming on the market with an agent out of our office here. A beautiful home, out in Crestview Estates. It's 10 years old. It felt brand new. I mean, it's a high quality builder, custom home, 10-year-old home. It felt brand new. Everything was just that nice and kept that well. Talking about pros, Mike, you've talked about this, your last house compared to your current house, lower utility bills. As a result, some stricter building codes, but newer energy efficient products. I'm talking about windows, doors, garage doors, insulation, your high efficiency furnace and AC, high efficiency appliances. And so lower utility bills, one of the big pros with new construction.
The other thing too with it is I got a very low energy master of the thermostat, which is me. That also helps utility bills.
Yeah, that does help.
I don't let my teenage kids touch that. You know what I mean? It's like the other day, like they would have cranked the AC on because it got up to 80 and it was a little bit warm in the house, right? And like give it a couple hours when the sun goes down, guess what? You can open up a window and we're fine, right? So that's the other thing too, is I'm almost getting to the point where I want to put one of those clear plastic boxes over it with a lock on it, so
like
I'm the
schools.
only one that can touch it. Yeah. That also helps too.
Jen would really appreciate that.
Right? That's a pro tip right there.
She gets a key too, Jason.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
If
We'll do
she's
like a retinal scan or thumbprint to open it, so no one else can, even if they find the key.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Because there was at one point, I had my daughter down in the basement with the furnace on, and I had my daughter upstairs that turned the air conditioner on, and they're both running at the same time.
Yes.
That
love it.
Makes a guy feel good.
I mean, it just cancels each other out, right? So it must have been comfortable.
Right?
Must have been comfortable. Well, air was moving well.
Air was moving. All right, folks, talking about the difference between new and existing, pros of new home construction. Our last one on our list of pros, more upfront, personalization, builder warranties on materials, workmanship, and structural items. So, yeah, I mean, even if you're not doing a custom-built home, most of the national builders give you the ability to customize the selections, right? And so maybe they only have, a dozen floor plans, but you get to pick out the color of the cabinets and the floors and the carpet and all of those things. It definitely feels more like your home when you're picking it out. You're the only one that's ever lived there, and you get to choose all those selections. So one of the pros is just you get to personalize it. All right, let's talk about cons. New construction. We're talking about new versus existing. What are the cons of new construction? Higher upfront cost. It's going to cost more. It's going to cost more. But we talk about this often. Okay, yes, it may cost more, but what's the cost over a 10-year period between the new one and the existing one? The existing one, you're going to have to make these improvements or maintenance items, or replace the roof or the furnace or what have you. So if we calculate it over that 10-year period, the cost is about the same in a lot of cases, right? And so the question is, do you want to live in a new home for the next 10 years? It's not going to cost you much as far as maintenance items go. And that's one of the cons, though, is it does cost a little bit more up front. Special financing, such as construction loans, often needed. So I don't think, most builders are going to provide the financing for you, but not all builders. And so that would be an additional cost. Some builders require the client, the buyer, to go out and get a construction loan to build the home. And then when it's done, you do an end loan or permanent financing. And so the reality on that, folks, is that whether you're taking out the construction loan or the builder is, you're paying for it. I mean, it's just, it's just that you're paying for it one way or the other, right? So those financing costs on construction loans are passed on to the buyer anyway, but can be more of an upfront cost on occasions.
However, there are some really interesting and affordable and cool new construction loan products that people like Mike can offer. So, I mean, if it is something where you are, as the consumer, needing to take out the loan, reach out to Mike and have that conversation because, long rate locks, things of that nature, are some really, really good products out there for new construction.
Yeah. Yep. Mike, you and Luminate have some great new construction products. So
We do.
Definitely appreciate what you guys have to offer. New versus existing, we're talking about the cons of new construction, longer wait times. I mean, look, we live in a world where we want things now. We want immediate gratification on whatever it is we're pursuing, and a lot of people don't have the patience to wait. Sometimes they don't have the patience to wait 30 days, and a house could take 9 to 12 months to build. Some homes take 18 to 24 months. These are going to be big custom homes, of course, but you're going to wait, and that's not always an option for some folks. And some folks just don't have the patience for it. So, I mean, it's
one of our high volume builders in our market, Jason and Mike, came in and gave us a presentation earlier in the month. And, their entry level home, they said it's going to take about 5 months.
Okay.
And interesting, right? Because when I got into the business, the first of 2014, I mean, they were like 4 months easy.
You know what
I mean?
90 days. Yeah.
Some are doing like 90 days. So when you hear that, the entry level home, and we're talking probably, 1150, 1250 square feet for a foundation. So not a big home, not a lot of material and a lot of work, but it's just the nature of the world that we live in real estate, and you need a little bit more time.
Folks, if you have questions about real estate, be sure to check out our website, ushometalk.com. During the show, we've got a real estate hotline number. You can text in your questions to 612-234-7585. Call or text that number anytime. It's a 24-hour real estate hotline number. You can also ask questions and leave comments on Facebook and YouTube. We'd love to hear your thoughts on what we're talking about. New versus existing. We're talking about new construction. Went through the pros. Now we're going through the cons. Two left on the list. New construction often is further out from amenities, and so as metros fill in, and those lots fill in, sometimes you got to go out further and further and further, right? And so you're on the outside of the metro or a little bit out. If you're looking for acreage, you're going to have to go out a little bit further. Along with that is going to come landscaping. There's sparse landscaping on some of these new developments. Sometimes a national developer builder will come in, they'll buy a big cornfield, bean field, and they'll just start developing and popping up houses. Landscaping is going to be sparse potentially, and so you gotta keep that in mind. It'll look great in 10 or 15 years, but sometimes in the beginning it feels a little cold. So pros and cons.
Sioux Falls just passed a city ordinance a couple years ago requiring the builder to plant 2 trees, one in the boulevard and one in the front yard, before they will grant the builder for an owner occupancy certificate. So that document's required before you can close on it at the title company. So the cities are kind of realizing like, hey, if we don't kind of force the hand to put a tree in the front of the yard or in the boulevard, it's just not going to happen. And then to your point, it may take 10, 15, 20 years down the road before trees start popping up, and then it feels like a really nice established neighborhood.
Yeah, I think that's a good ordinance. Most Cities that we've been selling in the metro have that. It's 2 trees in the front, and I think that I agree. I think it's good. Trees just make a development in a neighborhood feel better, I think. So I think it's good. All right, before we go on to existing pros and cons, let's jump over and do a legal minute. That is, of course, if I look at that.
Bam.
This is Jeff O'Brien, attorney with Hush Blackwell, with a U.S. Home Talk Legal Minute. For residential landlords in Minnesota, one of the most common mistakes made with a non-paying tenant is accepting part payment of rent prior to an eviction action. Minnesota law is clear that in order to accept partial payment of rent and still be able to pursue an eviction action, the lease must contain a clause which explicitly permits the landlord to do so. If such a clause is not included in the lease, the landlord's acceptance of partial payment constitutes a waiver of the landlord's right to evict the tenant for the month in which part payment is made. However, the landlord can still pursue a civil action against the tenant for a money judgment, regardless of the acceptance of partial payment for any month or months. This is Jeff O'Brien, attorney with Hush Blackwell, with a U.S. Home Talk Legal Minute.
Jeff, thank you for that legal minute. That was a good one.
That was interesting. I didn't know that.
Super interesting. I was not aware of that either. So all you landlords out there, make sure you've got that clause in your lease. Thanks, Jeff. We appreciate it. All right, new versus existing pros and cons. We went through the new pros and cons. Now let's go through the existing pros. Lower price options available. I mean, absolutely true. I've showed a number of $350,000 to $400,000 single family homes in the area in the last couple weeks. There is no new construction at that price. I mean, you got to go. I mean, you might get a townhome. For that price, new construction. There's no.
How much was that again, Jason? Sorry.
$350,000 to $400,000.
Okay.
So I mean, it's you're probably, I don't know that you can get in under $5 on new construction in the metro. If you go way out, you might be able to. But
Sioux Falls, South Dakota,
Hardwick, Minnesota.
So lower prices. Lower prices are one of the pros.
So let's talk about that real quick. So Jason, what would you say single family, right? 3-bedroom, 2-bath, split level, whatever, right? Entry level home, single family in the Minnesota metro area. What are those prices starting at?
I mean, they're gonna around 400.
Around 400?
I think you can find one for 375 that needs work. But something relatively move-in easy, they're gonna start around 400.
New construction wise, what would you say?
I don't remember seeing one under 5 for a long time.
What about your market,
single family
Marcus?
home?
Yeah.
I don't know if you can get a single family home new construction, even if it's your base level,
No.
whatever up here. You have to get out. You got to get in the country before it gets lower. How about your market, your market, Marcus?
You can get in a brand new construction home in the Sioux Falls, South Dakota market. 2 bedrooms, 2 baths, just under 1,200 square feet for $354,500 from one of our volume builders, and that's pretty. There's probably going to be maybe 3 or 4 other buyers or builders that can offer a similar product at a similar price.
How much to finish the basement?
They're usually right around like $50 a square foot. So that if that basement had 900 option,
Yep.
Another 45. So you're fully finished under 4.
That's pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah, that's real good.
Yeah, so you're 2,000 square feet, 4 bedroom, 3 bath, 3 stall garage.
It's not like in a mobile home park or something, is it?
Just making dreams happen here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, Jason. Don't be hating.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
I love it.
Okay. So basically just under 4 up in the metro area here. You're probably sitting at 5. Okay.
We've talked about that in the past, right? I mean, we've always felt like apples to apples, the Twin Cities is going to be 10 to 15% more expensive than the Sioux Falls, the Sioux Empire market.
Yep, that sounds about right. Talking about pros when you're choosing existing, established neighborhoods and mature landscaping. So that would be the opposite of new construction, right? I mean, our neighborhood that we live in, I think that it was developed, the beginning of it was developed probably 30 years ago. But my goodness, is there some really nice trees and mature landscaping throughout. And I think there's a lot to desire with that.
How are the homeowners? They a little immature, you think, in your neighborhood there, Jason?
Well, I mean, are you talking about me?
I mean, maybe.
Pain in the butt.
Pain in the butt. My HOA thinks I'm a pain in the butt sometimes, but that's all right. And then look, existing homes, folks, they're move-in ready, and so that you can, You can close typically in 30 days. Sometimes you can close in 2 weeks. If
Yeah.
you got cash and a motivated seller and they're willing to move, you can close in a week. It's
Mike, how fast you guys can do it? About 3 weeks, can't you, or sooner?
For what, a closing?
Yeah.
I just
Start
knocked
to
one
finish?
out. I just knocked one out in 9 days.
9
Alone.
business days?
Nine calendar days.
Dang,
Yep.
that's impressive.
9 calendar days. It fall out from another place. We said we could pick it up, right? So
Yeah.
we rocked and rolled, and yep, we could start to finish, got the clear to close in 9 days.
Ooh,
But that's not
typical.
the case, right? That's not typical, right? That's
That-
not going to
that-
happen in every single one. It stresses the system, but can we do
wasn't-
it?
It wasn't stressful for you guys. That was a fun one to do, wasn't it? Very relaxing.
Yeah, that's-
and
Very relaxing, yeah. I really didn't do a whole lot. I took a lot of naps during that one. And-
Yeah, done by 4:30 p.m. every day.
Yep. Yep.
Weekends
So-
off.
All right, talking about existing versus new construction, our last pro for existing homes, value add on potential with remodels and cosmetic updates. So whether you're talking about finishing a basement, you're talking about remodeling a kitchen or a bathroom, adding finished square feet, there's opportunity in especially if it's dated. We've worked with so many investors over the years where they target homes that are tired and have no updates, and they come in and they refresh it and make it feel really new and nice and modern. And so there's not just for investors but for homeowners as well. There's an opportunity to build some equity through some potential remodels and updates. All right, talk about cons, existing homes versus new homes. We're talking about the cons of existing. Number one, outdated floor plans. See it often. We see it often. We go in and look at an existing home, and the buyers are like, "Man, this has got good bones. It's a great neighborhood. This floor plan is terrible. Walls everywhere." And so definitely outdated floor plans. Today's modern builds are, I think, we're just doing a really good job with design and floor plan design of homes. So that's one of the cons for existing is outdated floor plans. More repairs and maintenance. We talked about that as well. Depending on how old the home is and how old the furnace and AC and roof and windows, and it can add up. There can also be an opportunity there if you buy it at the right price. But these costs are generally you got to pay for those cash. And so you're gonna have more repairs on existing homes than new construction. Next on our list, higher utility bills if products and materials are less energy efficient. I'm smiling because we've all seen homes where the insulation is newspaper, or it's that, I don't know what that other stuff was in the walls, Marcus, growing up in our house, but
Asbestos.
Yep. Asbestos.
Yeah,
Just
was.
No big deal.
Asbestos pellets.
Don't worry about that.
no big deal.
Single pane windows. Oh man, those are brutal in the winter, right? They're gonna ice up and fog up, and they're not going to be energy efficient. So higher utility bills are going to come from a lot of those older homes because the materials just aren't as efficient.
Nice lead-based paint. The good stuff. The stuff that used to last.
Good stuff.
Just don't eat the paint chips. Less personalized, of course, right? Existing homes, you're going to get what you're going to get. Sure, you could remodel and you can make changes, but initially, you're not going to be personalizing a whole lot unless you want to do, once you own it and move in, maybe you're going to do new carpet or you're going to do those things. But usually existing is, it is what it is. It used to be sellers could offer buyers carpet allowances or paint allowances or countertop allowances. That's not allowed any longer. Buyers and sellers can't exchange funds for those type of items unless you did some type of escrow, which no one wants to do. So less personalized. And then last on our list, I think this is a con. I think there's more competition from other buyers in existing. And I think there's a couple reasons for that. One, because you don't have to wait. Two, because the prices are more competitive. They're priced lower. And three, there's just more existing than more existing buyers than there are new construction. A lot of buyers don't realize that it's just as easy to get in new construction in a lot of cases as it is existing. So you're probably going to have more competition with existing buyers than new construction buyers.
Great list,
I
Jason.
think those buyers too. I mean, I hear it all the time. One of the reasons why they want that existing is just for that mature neighborhood. You know, they're just like, we really want to be in a mature neighborhood. And to your point, usually that mature neighborhood is already near the regional shopping center or the school or the community rec center or whatever it might be. So they just see this like there's more desire with that existing neighborhood, and that, which again creates that higher demand.
Yep, location, right? Drives up values. Folks, we do appreciate you tuning in this week. Looking forward to seeing you again next week. This has been U.S. Home Talk. Jason Walgrave here with Marcus Walgrave and Mortgage Mike Overson. Evan Little in the background. I want everybody to have a fantastic week. See you next Wednesday.